Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I'm going to talk about what it takes to maximize the DPS on a hunter the honest way. Of course, not scumbag DPS tips, but just some general stuff so you guys know, what's going on. And as you've seen my video of several days ago in the LFR, I did pretty good DPS on a hunter just by popping my cooldowns and going AFK for the rest. And that's essentially what a hunter is. It's a cooldown based class now, and I'm going to show you guys how to maximize that. So this is the talent build that I usually go with. I'm just going to go over all the skills and how they interact with all the other abilities because that's very important. In Mists of Pandaria, BM Hunters are the strongest spec out of the three, and we do all right. It's pretty hard to top the DPS on a hunter nowadays because a little bit underpowered in my opinion, but overall you'll do pretty well if you play perfectly. So how do you do that? How do you play it perfectly? Well, let's understand the abilities. So you want to be using Bestial Wrath on cooldown, you want to be using Stampede right off the bat, and you want to be saving your Stampede as well as your readiness, as well as all the other cooldowns you have, as well as your second potion during the fight, at a time of typically 5 minutes or later. You see if the fight lasts just like 6 minutes, then you want to use it right away, and you want to use it right at the 5-minute mark just so you don't miss out on it. But if the fight lasts like 7 minutes, you have a 2-minute delay period in which you can see where your trinkets line up properly, or when you have optimum uptime on the boss. There's a lot of specific boss strategy that goes into playing a cooldown based class like a hunter, and I can't really go through every single detail on that. You'll have to kind of use your imagination and figure out each individual situation in that case. When it comes to the spec, there are something that is very important which relate to your trinkets. So right now I'm using Relic of Joanne, which is overall a very good trinket. I believe it's third best in slot, but it's really close to like second for this tier, so it's still, you're going to use it for a long time. I got Terror in the Mist. I got the non-heroic version because the heroic version has not come out yet. And I also have Bottle of Infinite Stars. Bottle of Infinite Stars is the best trinket in the game right now for a hunter, but you have to get the 502 version for that to be the case. I have the LFR version, which is alright. The thing with the trinket is you have to understand how the abilities interact with it. So you have Bottle of Infinite Stars. See, your proc is based on your attacks have a chance to grant you, however much of agility for 20 seconds. So your attacks have a chance to grant you. This shit procs of absolutely everything. Pretty much anything that you do will potentially trigger this trinket. When it comes to Terror in the Mist, each time your attacks hit, you have a chance to do so-and-so damage. I just got this trinket, I haven't fully tested it, but based on the description, I doubt that it works with certain attacks, possibly not working with like Serpent Sting or something like that. But based on the description, you can see that it may exclude some other things. Not too sure about that one, but I am sure about this one. When you deliver a ranged or melee critical strike, you have a chance to gain it. It is a piece of shit proc. Basically, you need to do the attack, and it needs to crit. So Serpent Sting crits cannot trigger. Kill Command do not trigger because you are not the one delivering the melee attack. And many other attacks do not trigger as well, like Dire Beast does nothing, Lynx Rush does nothing. So on your opener, when you start the fight as a hunter, your DPS is very important because that's when you pre-pot. You have a free potion and you want to stack as many cooldowns as possible within that potion window. And the problem is, with trinkets like these, which are very unreliable for their proc, you may not get that chance. So let's go over all the abilities here real quick. I use Dire Beast. It's very important to use this before using Bestial Wrath. I like to use it right before, so I have plenty of focus during Bestial Wrath. Dire Beast is by far the highest damage ability of the three for the BM spec. It's just very important that you don't use Bestial Wrath and then use Dire Beast, because Bestial Wrath is 1 minute cooldown, Dire Beast is 30 seconds, so if you fuck it up once, you have to then delay your Bestial Wrath to put it in line on the next cooldown. Lynx Rush is my favorite ability of this tier. It's pretty close call between a Murder of Crows and Lynx Rush. Lynx Rush, you want to use it during Bestial Wrath, or in some cases you can Lynx Rush and then like a second later use Bestial Wrath, and the damage that it would do would then be retroactive. So it's a pretty nice ability. I like it because it doesn't cost anything, and it does pretty damn good damage. Just to keep in mind, because it's a 1.5 minute cooldown and Beast of Wrath is a 1 minute cooldown, you want to pop Link's Rush pretty much on cooldown. So you want the Link's Rush with Bestial Wrath and then pop it outside, and then a third Bestial Wrath you can pop it with the stacking abilities as well. Some people like to use Murder of Crows. Murder of Crows is fine, but Murder of Crows has some issues where it's like a 20-second, or is it 30 seconds? A 30-second debuff on the target, and you can't stack it. So if you use Murder of Crows, Readiness Murder of Crows, absolutely wasted. So you have to keep that in mind. When you use Murder of Crows, the debuff won't stack, and I haven't used the ability enough, but I do believe if you use Murder of Crows after Readiness on a secondary target, it'll actually cancel the initial Murder of Crows. And because of the very high focus cost, you always want to match it up with Bestial Wrath, and because the stacking problem, you kind of have to delay it. It does not work with the Readiness very well. It's just very, very buggy ability, but because it does so much damage, it is typically in line with Link's Rush in the 5.0 patch. For the last one, you have Glaive Toss. Glaive Toss is extremely good because it hits the targets multiple times, triggering your potential trinket procs. It's especially important for this one right here, for Relic of Jwen. Glaive Toss is going to be the large source of your proc potential. And if you want to go with Barrage, if there's a lot more targets on that fight, you can do that as well. Barrage also has a very high rate of procking trinkets, which is very, very important. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a lot of stuff that you do, but you know, BM Hunter is all about managing your cooldowns towards appropriate times. That's how you do the best damage. I'll show you guys here a chart on World of Logs on one of our attempts on the first boss in Heart of Fear. And as you can see, you know, you got the opener, which is tons of damage, and you got, you know, a period where you do up and down a little bit, but it's basically garbage damage, all the way leading until the, like, I think it's like the 6 or 7 minute mark. And that's when we pop Bloodlust, and that's when I save my Stampede, my second potion, my Readiness. I save everything for that, stack it all up, and that's when you do your second big bulk of damage. And after that, you continue doing, you know, pretty much nothing again. So that's pretty much what you can expect out of a hunter. And while the, you know, the 5 to 7 minute reset of the fight, while that can vary a lot, the opener often varies only just a little bit. So because of that, I want to show you guys here what I got for my opener. This is just one random opener that we did on the first boss again. So we're just getting ready to pull right now. I do the MD. On the 1, I do the potion. I pull with Glaive Toss just to get my trinkets going right away. Then I do Dire Beast. Then I do Bestial Wrath, Link's Rush, sorry, I do Stampede before. Pop that Readiness to get an extra kill command during the Bestial Wrath. When the first Bestial Wrath drops, I pop a Dire Beast again, and then pop my second Bestial Wrath, and then do the Link's Rush, and so on, so on. You know, you can kind of mix it up a little bit. It's really hard to get this down to a science, and you know, I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried, you know, changing the order of certain ability, changing the timing that I use Readiness under. But all in all, as long as you stick to some of the basics, as long as you understand the abilities, you know, you're going to do fine. And it's not really going to matter that much in the details. But, you know, you got to put as much of the cooldowns that you have into the boss right away, and to try to get those trinket procs. In that particular instance, I mean, I didn't really get a Relic of Jwen proc because, you know, this trinket really sucks sometimes. But what you can do in some cases, like as you've noticed in that little clip, the rapid fire that I used actually didn't stack on the potion very well. There's only like 2 seconds of overlap between the second rapid fire and my potion from prior to the beginning of the fight. And because my Relic of Jwen had not procced at that point, what I could have done is saved my second rapid fire for when this trinket would have procced, then overlapped them to do maybe a little bit more damage. There's always a little bit of improvement. There's always a little bit extra that you can do in the fight, and that's the kind of stuff that you should be looking out for. But all in all, if you nail the opener, if you nail the 5 to 7 minute mark, you know, you're going to do great. And it's all about understanding the mechanics of the boss fight and preparing your cooldowns for that particular boss. Hopefully you guys learned a few things about the BM Hunters. I'll see you guys tomorrow.